Well, Coach, it's been a long time. How's it feel to be back?
Oh man, it's great. We've had our camp now, and you remember, but we have a whole crew of kids that came last year, and they didn't get camp, but they got we were able to do some good things and teach and do the stuff. But football camp is gold, and it's so foundational to our program, especially here where our seniors and our older guys, it's a big deal on how they bring guys in, and we want to be tight as fast as we can, and it went right away. And I think part of it was that it's been so long, and here we go. But man, it blessed me, and then somebody who's been doing this forever, it's like, having that time off was a killer, but being back was, one of the things that we talk about, really a main thing is being grateful for everything all the time, and this was easy. We were grateful to be back doing football, doing the stuff that I can't even explain all the things, all the layers. It's football, but it's way more than that, and just a blessing to be back going.
Yeah. So you got a couple new additions to the staff this year. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And then one change with Greg Peterson. For the first time in your 32 years, this upcoming game will be without Greg as either coach or player, as he's now Bethel's athletic director. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, that's where all the change happens, where Petey was in on the athletic director job, and Petey and I have been together. I came here when he was a sophomore, and he's been a part of every game because he went on to be an SID in coaching, and now he's there. So it's over 300 games that we've done together. So it's going to feel a little weird on Saturday. He's been around a lot, and he is around a lot, so that's great. But just like I kind of said it before, thankful for everything, and it's really hard to lose Petey. At the same time, we didn't lose him. We know right where he is down the hall. I joked with our players when we announced it that Petey's been telling me what to do for 20 years. Here we go again, and now it's more official. But he's been great already for us. And then we're able to move A.J. Parnell, who's a former quarterback for us, to offensive coordinator, and he took off running with that. And we've got a real good receiver coach, Matt Houston, who played for North Central a while back, and he's from Michigan. And so that side of the ball is kind of clicking and really going well. And then we had a great hire from outside, Stephen Franklin, who's a young man who is a head coach at a high school that he was building in Kansas City, and he played in the NFL. He played with Coach McElroy at Southern Illinois, and then he played in the NFL a little bit with the Jaguars and the Seahawks. Big guy, linebacker. He's coaching our defensive front, and he is his joy and his he's just really been a great mentor already for our guys. But his fit in, and you know how at Bethel there's a DNA piece that we're, in our recruiting, it's not just kids, it's coaches, that we want a bunch of guys that love the Lord, love football, love each other, and here we go. And man, there's great joy and power in that, and we want happy-hearted, tough guys. And if you run into Coach Franklin, you might think he's going to eat you, but he's a big horse, and he's just an amazing guy with a sweet heart.
So going back to the offensive side of the ball, under new offensive coordinator A.J. Parnell, you got a lot of exciting returners on that side of the ball. What are you expecting from the offense?
Well, I think there's going to be some excitement. I think we're going to throw the ball down the field a little bit more, but we're not going to lose our bread and butter. And we run the ball here, and that's a big deal. And but you have to start with Jaron Rosty's our quarterback, and he's special. He's just terrific player, and he's back, and he just does so many neat things around school and works in the build program. He's just got this happy heart and infectious personality, and he's really leading well. And then Jack Fiddler is preseason All-American offensive tackle, and he is he has grown, and you know, he's kind of stayed in the mix, and he's really something. And so our O-line is really gelled, and we just believe that's a huge piece of a great season, to where those guys can do that. And when somebody's really good like that and willing to teach and help others learn, you grow everybody. And both those guys are, and there's other guys, but both those guys are great. And Sid Boris is the same way in the backfield. And we've got a multitude of young talent that hasn't played that much yet, and that makes us nervous and excited at the same time, because you know, some of these guys they've even been here a year, but they've never played a college game. And but there's going to be a lot of joy in the time of watching those guys grow. I'm probably a little better at, or more patient, you know. I mean, so I think some people are a little more nervous about it, and I think I can't wait for them to go, and part of that's because I've been able to see it for a long time.
Yeah, well, along those lines, on the other side of the ball, with all the new faces that you've got there, but again, a lot of talent, how are they progressing with defense and special teams?
Yeah, I think the defense and the special teams, there's probably more questions in a way, and not. You know, I mean, we've got a lot of speed. There's a lot of athleticism, but again, as you said, we need to. We don't have the experience that we've had. You know, and I think back Cale Farron and some of those guys, and they're just. But we do have amazing corners. Tavion Swanson he's been the guy on defense, like Rosti and Fiddler on offense, to where bringing people together. Matt Feldick. And linebackers, and then Michael Judd. And so at each level, we've got guys that are bringing the young guys along, and Coach McElroy does a great job with those guys, with Brooks Bird and Stephen Franklin, and Coach Hippie is Adam Hippie's our linebacker guy, and they really know how. We want, you know, Coach talks a lot about, we prefer bullets over bowling balls. So we make a mistake, it's going to be boom, you know, and there's an excitement and playing that way. And so we're going to get after we're going to stop the run on the way to the quarterback, and you know, put pressure on them that way. So our speed hopefully will cover some things. It does cover a multitude of sins. We think that's in 1 Peter somewhere, but there's joy in some of that. I don't know exactly, you know, and Nate Farm's going to be a guy who's going to step up that we're excited about, and he's a transfer from Northern Michigan. So, you know, collectively, we have a great punter, and we have a new kicker who's really good too, Jack Hansen, great punter, and Dane Schumacher. So the special teams are, just like everything, it's going to evolve as the year goes on. You don't know what's going to happen in the first game, but that's normal.
Yeah. Speaking of the first game, it's always tricky preparing for a season opener, preparing for that opponent. Now that it's been 2 years since you've seen anybody, how different is that, trying to prepare?
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things. I'm feeling old, but it's kind of, there's an exciting piece to this, is where you know, we always talk about that first game. Nothing's as good or bad as it seems. You know, if they house something, you know, don't throw up and go into a shell. And if we house something, don't think you're a hot shot. Because I remember a while back we had one of our tailbacks. He just took off for an 80-yard run, Phil Porta, and I remember all O-line, all day, baby, and we go back on the film, and they didn't block a soul. He just scored, and I remember you can kind of let down. So boy, you gotta play 60 minutes, and that, going back to our young guys, college football is really long, and this time of year it's hot, you know, and so our young guys, it's going to be a test, and it's a cool test, and it's I'm happy for America that football's back going. So.
Yes, and you're headed back to Chicago, homeland for you.
Yeah.
Best Chicago pizza joint. Where are you taking the team after?
Yeah, we have it delivered because nobody wants our team at their place. But the best Chicago pizza, when I was a kid, it was the world famous Gino's East. But they've gotten bigger. But Lou Malnati's is choice pizza. It's the best, and if you don't feel that way, you're wrong. Except everybody has their own taste buds, but. Lou Malnati's is 1, Gino's is 2, and Giordano's is okay.
Nice. All right. Well, good luck this weekend.
Sorry, Giordano's. No.
Good luck,
Anyway,
Coach.
Thanks, buddy.